Learn how to list only enumerable properties of an object using object keys method. In this example, we want to look at how we can list enumerable properties of an object. But before we move on, we first need to understand what enumerable properties are. Enumerable properties are the ones that are feasible and can be listed when looping or extracting keys. So we'll just go ahead now and look at the steps that I've commented out inside the script section and begin to make the example. So let's get started. So the first step says create a object person. So I'll create the person's object this way. Now inside it, I'm just going to add few properties to it. Language, English. So my object has three properties: first name, last name, and then language. So now I have added properties to that object. Now the third step says set language as enumerable false. At least change language property. And how do we change language property? Well, that is where the need for object just define property comes in. So I'll call this method object. So it's already a built-in method in JavaScript. It's not that I'm just making it, I'm just calling it so I can use it for the purpose of what I want to do. Then I'll pass the object, and now I will set what I want, the property I want to make enumerable. I will set it and then put this to it, enumerable, and set it to false. Set language as enumerable false. I have done this now. Now display results. So how do I display results? Well, if if you are following what you've been doing, or you are just thinking about what could be a way to display the results, you are probably thinking it's just to call the object name person, and then probably you do something like this language or some of stuff. But this is not how we are going to display the results. In order to display the results, we need another method called object keys. Object.keys. And this object.keys is now going to take our object as parameter of data. And right there, you will see first name and last name. Now, because we set the language to enumerable, it's no longer discoverable. If I change this from false to true, let's check, see what happens now. Now, it means that this property is now accessible. But if I reverse it back to false, I'll be able to list only those that are accessible. And then the one that is not accessible will be hidden from being enumerable, then only list the feasible properties. Now, one thing I want to point out is that it is not all properties that are feasible. For example, if I want to make like last name also to be invisible, then I can add it. I can just add and say last name as well, and then the property of it, I want to say enumerable and say false, and then it will also hide it. But currently it's not hiding it because of the way I'm passing it in, but that's not where we are going. Well, I'm just trying to show you how we can, achieve that in maybe in a situation where we need to do it. But right now, we have only the one for language. So if you want to have another one, like I was trying to do, we could just, possibly do copy and paste. So if you want to have for something else, it's just going to be you pass in the value, and then you can say this one also should be first. Once you set it like this, you can see that last name also has disappeared from among the visible properties of the uh, element. So here we just make the language property non-enumerable as well as the last name. So that means that both of them become hidden from method like objects.keys. So when we list the keys, only the first name appears. JavaScript allow control over what part of an object are exposed or hidden, and enumerable properties determine what gets shown when you inspect or look through an object.